Our first lesson is from 1 Samuel. God said to Samuel, "How long are you going to grieve over Saul? I have rejected him as king over Israel. Fill your horn with oil and get going. I'm sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem, because I have found my next king among his sons." "How can I do that?" Samuel asked. "When Saul hears of it, he'll kill me." "Take a heifer with you," God replied, "and say, 'I have come to make sacrifice to God.' Invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will make clear to you what you should do. You will anoint for me the person I point out to you." So Samuel did what God instructed. When he came to Bethlehem, the city elders came to meet him. They were shaking with fear. "Do you come in peace?" they asked. "Yes," Samuel answered. "I've come to make a sacrifice to God. Now make yourselves holy, then come with me to the sacrifice." Samuel made Jesse and his sons holy and invited them to the sacrifice as well. When they arrived, Samuel looked at Eliab and he thought, "That must be God's anointed right in front." But God said to Samuel, "Have no regard for his appearance or stature, because I haven't selected him. God doesn't look at things like humans do. Humans see only what is visible to the eyes, but God sees to the heart." Next, Jesse called for Abinadab, who presented him to Samuel. But he said, "God hasn't chosen this one either." So Jesse presented Shammah. But Samuel said, "No, God hasn't chosen this one." Jesse presented 7 of his sons to Samuel. But Samuel said to Jesse, "God hasn't picked any of these." Then Samuel asked Jesse, "Is that all your boys?" "Well, there is still the youngest one," Jesse answered, "but he's out keeping sheep." "Send for him," Samuel told Jesse, "because we can't proceed until he gets here." So Jesse sent and brought him in. He was reddish brown, had beautiful eyes, and was good looking. God said, "That's the one. Go anoint him." So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him right there in front of his brothers. God's Spirit came over David from that point forward. Then Samuel left and went to Ramah. Hear what the Spirit is saying to God's people. Thanks be to God. God, you are our shepherd, who supplies our every need. God, you are our shepherd, who supplies our every need. God, you are our shepherd, who supplies our every need. You invite us to recline in grassy meadows. You guide us to cool, peaceful streams. You revive our paths, and true to your name, you steer us toward prosperous and just paths. Even when we drag our feet through Death Valley, we will not be frightened, for you accompany us. You lead the way, walking stick in hand, to guide and protect us. God, you are our shepherd, who supplies our every need. God, you are our shepherd, who supplies our every need. You arrange a feast for us, even when we're up against distress and affliction. You wash away the grime from our souls and leave behind a sweet perfume. It doesn't get any better than this. We are satisfied to overflowing. There's no doubt about it. Good fortune and grace will tag along with us from one sunset to the next, as we journey with you, the great shepherd, both now and forever. God, you are our shepherd, who supplies our every need. God, you are our shepherd, who supplies our every need. Our second lesson is from Ephesians. As weak human beings, you were once empty and full of darkness, but now that Creator's Spirit lives in you, you are beings full of light. Walk in the light, and all things good and right and true will shine out from you. This will prove you are God's children. the ones who seek for ways to make God's heart glad. Turn away from the paths of darkness with its worthless ways. Instead, let your light shine into the darkness and show the way out. The shameful things done under the blanket of night should not even be spoken of, for the light shines into the darkness and takes the mask off its empty ways. It is like the sunrise that pushes back the night and brings the light of a new day. This is why it is said, "Wake up, O sleeper, come back from the dead, and the chosen one will shine on you." Hear what the Spirit is saying to God's people. Thanks be to God. The Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus saw a man blind from birth, sitting by the pathway. They stopped near the man, and the ones who walked on the road with him asked, "Wisdom keeper, why was this man born blind? Was it his wrongdoings or his parents that caused this?" "The wrongdoings of neither he nor his parents caused this," Jesus told them, "but that the healing power of the great Spirit would be seen in him. For while the sun still shines, we must be doing what God wants. A time of darkness is coming when no one will do what God wants. But as long as I am in the world, I will be its light." After saying this, he spat on the ground. Then he made mud from his spit and rubbed it on the man's eyes, and instructed him to go and wash in the pool of Siloam. With the help of others, the man went and washed the mud out of his eyes, and returned with his sight restored. The people who lived near him, and the others who knew that he was a blind beggar, saw him and said in amazement, "Could this be the blind man who sat and asked for handouts?" Some were saying it was he. Others said he only looked like him. But he kept saying, "I am the one." So they asked him, "How did your sight return to you?" He said, "A man named Jesus made some mud and rubbed it on my eyes. He told me to go to the pool of Siloam and wash. So I did what he said, and now I see." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ.